Short story. I love you. I loved my mom. I did. She was fun, sweet, caring, and giving. She was always very beautiful in my eyes. All the time. Even when she was sad and her tear droplets fell on her lap or on my face while she was tucking me in bed. I loved my dad naturally. I liked him more when he was fun and playing with me. I did not like him at all when he used unkind language with me, and especially when he used unkind language or gruff tone of voice with my mother. I have friends at school who had the same situation, but the roles are reversed. The dad is the pleasant, caring one, the mom is the moody, not so pleasant, far from being wise parent. I was only 7 when I felt befuddled by the ignorance of the fact that any parent will lose the trust of their kids when they act in a mean, rude, unkind, or aggressive way towards the other parent. Even if this aggressively mannered parent acts very sweetly to their kids. It's just simply natural. And my uncle would say, it is simply neuroscience. People, and especially kids, don't trust conflict instigators. Anyway, it was then that I felt the need for my now non for profit organization, although I didn't know it at the time. My English teacher at school gave every student in the class a gift at the beginning of the year. Mine was an alphabet stencil set. It looked very different than anything I've ever seen. The letters looked less typewriter and more handwriting. None of the other kids wanted it. They said the letters looked weird and it would be so hard for them to trace. That day, when my mom was cleaning after dinner, I asked her if we could see some old pictures of her. How come you look so happy here, Mom? I asked. Well, in those pictures, when I was a kid, I was happy because I had a beautiful family who loved me and loved each other. And here as a young woman, I was happy because I was in love, she explained. Just love? Both cases, just love? Love is very powerful, kiddo. People in love feel happy and empowered. They feel like they own the world. Yet they feel so humbled. Their eyes only see beauty. The sun is shining upon them all the time, even on gloomy and dark days. Love gives the person wings. It brings the best in people. May you always feel love in your heart, sweetheart. Good night, love, she said as she tucked me in. She then kissed my forehead and turned off the lights. The next day, my mom received a letter in the mail that read only 3 words. I love you. She tossed it out. Every week, the same letter arrived with the same 3 words. I love you. She tossed a bunch before she started keeping some. Before long, she just received the letter, read the message, breathed deeply as if she's taking it all in, smiled, folded, and put it in a special tin box. Nothing fancy, nothing different, nothing extra, just I love you. Mission accomplished. My mom appeared healthier over a short period of time. She set boundaries with my dad and eventually divorced him. She asked for a promotion at work and got it. She exercised. From the outside, she looked like a lot of the single parents I have seen and met. Only difference was she wasn't bitter. She wasn't fake. Her genuine self kept shining through. I noticed her hesitation when we moved out of my dad's home. But after a few days, she was very happy when she found out that her love letters followed her to our new place. All that she needed apparently was to be struck by the power of love. She never even wondered who was writing her the letters. And she always spent time receiving and reading each and every one of them. Who knew that 3 simple words can have this much impact on a person? I love you. Result duplicated. My best friend from school was upset because his father wasn't being appreciated by my friend's mother. Apparently, they had the same issue we used to have, only reversed parents. A couple of months later, my best friend moved in with his dad into a new home after his parents divorced. He said, it's very strange, and it all happened so quickly. My father started getting these anonymous letters that had only 3 words, I love you. He tossed out the first couple, but then he felt really happy receiving them. My mom found the letters and had 2 moods of responding to them. She either yelled at him asking, "Are you having an affair?" Or she said sarcastically, "And who is this crazy, desperate woman that is awful enough to love you?" My dad did not respond to the sarcastic comment. It was actually mean. But very soon, he drafted and executed his exit and took me with him. Of course, I still stay at my mom 3 days a week, but I prefer being with my dad. I actually expected to see a potential stepmom, the one who writes him the letters. But so far, he seems to be content by just the 3-word letters that arrive weekly. I love you. It wasn't hard. I already knew my friend's address and I learned his new address after he moved. Launching the organization. When will I stop doing this? Am I deceiving them? Am I selling them on a love that does not exist? I thought about terminating the operation. But then the mailman lost his wife. Our teacher at school, whose husband was in the Navy, became a widow. Our friend Margaret had cancer and had to shave her head. Our neighbor Fred had an accident that stopped him from practicing in his swimming competitions. A fire broke out in the bakery at the end of the road. Mrs. Campbell's hair salon went bankrupt, and all of them just seemed much happier and stronger once they received their 3-word letters in the mail. I love you. Of course, the alphabet stencil set couldn't cover all the demand. My handwriting replaced the stencil very quickly. Then my laptop and printer had to take over. Expanding in secrecy. I wasn't sure how to expand the reach without revealing the whole thing, so I decided to create a cover. I hired staff to manage the database and to automate the process, but no one knew what message got delivered in the letters. I heard the staff saying, though, that this organization is probably a government revenue agency asking people to pay their taxes or a collection agency chasing people to pay their debts. Haha, works for me. What did you do with your life? I remember my mom telling me as a child that after we die, we get asked one question at the pearly gates. What did you do with your life? I spread love. Why am I sharing this today? I am hoping that after I pass and my letters stop, one kid who just wants his parent to radiate happiness from the inside out would read my story or listen to my story and continue my mission. To you, the kid I don't know yet, who will carry on my mission, I sincerely say, I love you. Short story by Amal Abul Hassan.